Hi everyone, welcome to Nija's vlog. In this video, we will be discussing on the very basics of quadratic equations. So, what is a quadratic equation? A quadratic equation in one variable is an equation in which the greatest exponent or index of the variable is 2. Here, the greatest exponent or index means the highest power or degree of an equation. The highest power or degree, or you can say it as exponent or index. It should be always equal to 2. Okay, so where did this quadratic word come from? It came from a Latin word called quadratus. Quadratus, which means square. So, as per the definition, a quadratic equation should have its highest power as 2. So, let's see some examples. Okay, 3x square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Here, the highest degree or power is 2. So, this is a quadratic equation. Then, you can see another example, which is like 6y square plus 4y plus 2 equal to 0. This is another quadratic equation since its highest power is 2 and here the variable is y. So there is no such thing that the variable always should be represented as x. It can also be y or say z, or it can be alpha, beta, any variable, you name it. Okay. Let's have a look on the general form of a quadratic equation. So, the general form of a quadratic equation is given as ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a not equal to 0. This is the standard form or general form of a quadratic equation. The only condition is that a can never be equal to 0. Here, a and b are known as the numerical coefficients. Numerical coefficients. C is known as constant. C is a constant. And the case is that you can have b equal to 0. There is no issue. Even c can be 0. It is also permitted. Also, both b and c can be 0. These are the permitted cases. Okay, but never ever can a be equal to 0. A can never be equal to 0. Now let's take a few examples and identify which is a, which is b, and which is c. Okay, so take the example 3x square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now from this we have to find what is a, what is b, and what is c. For this, just compare this given equation with the standard equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now compare. The coefficient of x square is a, right? So in this example, the coefficient of x square is what? 3. So a is equal to 3. Now b is the coefficient of x. So in this equation, the coefficient of x is 2. So b is equal to 2. Now in this equation, standard equation, the constant term is c. And in this equation, the constant term is 1. So c equal to 1. This is how you identify a, b, and c. Now take another example. Say 5x square minus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Now again from this you have to find what is a, what is b, and what is c. For this you have to compare with the standard equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now compare. Here the coefficient of x square is a. In this equation, the coefficient of x square is 5. So a is equal to 5. So you got the answer as 5. Now, what is the coefficient of x? It is b, right? Here, the coefficient of x is 3, but in the standard equation, the sign of the sign just before this x is positive. Here it is negative. So you should consider the sign as well. So the coefficient b is equal to negative 3. Okay. Now consider the constant term which is c. Here it is positive, right? So here it is negative. So you should consider it. Now c, instead of in the place of c it is negative 4. So the answer is negative 4. This is how you identify a, b and c, the numerical coefficients and constant term. Let's form a quadratic equation. For this, let's consider some questions. Question number 1 is, create a quadratic equation with variable x and a equal to 1, b equal to 2, c equal to 3. So the question is, you have to create a quadratic equation with variable x and the values of a is 1, b is 2 and c is 3. So first you have to write what you know, right? What you know is the general form of a quadratic equation, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Here the variable that we should write is x, which is same as the general equation. Now the values of a is given, b is given and c is given. So in place of a you have to substitute 1, in place of b you have to substitute 2, in place of c you have to substitute 3. So the equation becomes 1x square plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Again, 1x square means what? 1 multiplied by x square, which is nothing but x square. Then plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. This is the final answer. So this is the required quadratic equation. Since the highest power here is 2, this is a quadratic equation. Okay. Now let's move on to another question. Okay. Question number 2. Create a quadratic equation with variable y and values of a can be like 2, b can be negative 4 and let's c be 6. I'm choosing some random values, okay? So again, just write the general form of a quadratic equation. This is what? General form of QE. Now, instead of x, we need variable y, right? So, just replace x by y. Therefore, equation becomes ay square plus by plus c equal to 0. Now, you have to substitute the values of a, b and c to create the required quadratic equation. So in place of a you have to give 2, in place of b you have to give negative 4 and in place of c you have to give 6. So the equation becomes 2y square negative 4y plus 6 equal to 0. So this is the required quadratic equation. Now again, let's see another question. Sorry. Now let's see another question. Okay. Here, create a variable sorry, create a quadratic equation with variable x and a equal to 3, b equal to 0 and c equal to 2. Now again you have to write what is the general form of a quadratic equation. So ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the general form of a quadratic equation. Now substitute for a equal to 3, b equal to 0 and c equal to 2. You have to substitute these values. Substitute for a equal to 3, b equal to 0 and c equal to 2. Now the equation becomes 3x square plus 0x plus 2 equal to 0. See here 0 multiplied by x is what? 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So 3x square plus 0 means it's 0, right? 0 multiplied by x is 0. So you can write it as 0 equal to 0. Then again 0 plus 2 is 2. So 3x square plus 2 equal to 0. This is the required quadratic equation. Do you have any confusion in this regarding whether it is quadratic equation or not? See, the highest degree of this equation is 2. So this is a quadratic equation. The only thing is that there is no x term in this equation. Now let's move on to another question. Okay. Now we have seen that the permitted cases. Let me write down. Permitted cases are b equal to 0, c equal to 0 and both b and c equal to 0. These are the permitted cases. We have seen what happens when b equal to 0. The equation which we obtain even after getting b as 0 is a quadratic equation. There is no confusion in that, right? Now let's see what happens when c equal to 0. So for that I am taking variable as x and values of a can be say 2, b can be the same -4 and let's see b 0 to just check whether this condition can be true or not. Okay. So what is the standard equation? Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now substitute for a, b and c. So the equation becomes 2x square plus, sorry, it's negative, right? 2x square minus 4x plus 0 equal to 0. So 2x square minus negative x. Negative 4x plus 0 is what? Negative 4x, which is equal to 0. So this is the required quadratic equation. Here, is it a quadratic equation? Yes. Why? Because the highest degree of this equation is 2. That is square, right? Yeah. Now, so this condition is also valid. Now, what happens when b and c are both zeros? Again, we can take the variable as x and let this value be 2 itself for a. But we should take b and c equal to 0. That is the case that we are trying to check, right? Okay, now the standard equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now substitute the values for a, which is 2x square plus b is 0x plus c is 0, which is equal to 0. 0x plus 0 is 0. 2x square plus 0 is 2x square. So the answer becomes simply 2x square plus 0. So this is the standard final equation. Okay, final quadratic equation. And is it a quadratic equation? Yes. Why? Because the highest degree here is 2. Highest degree here is 2. So this is also a quadratic equation. So these cases are permitted. It's valid. Okay, it's verified now. Okay, now let's see what happens when a equal to 0, and say we can have b equal to 2 and c equal to 1. Now the standard equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So a is 0, right? 0x square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So 0x square is what? 0 multiplied by x square is 0. 0 plus 2x is 2x. So answer becomes 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Is this a quadratic equation? No, it is not a quadratic equation. Why? Because its highest degree is 1. Here the highest degree is 1. So this is not a quadratic equation. This is not a quadratic equation. It is a linear equation. It is a linear equation. That is why a can never be equal to 0. Okay. I hope you all have enjoyed this video and understood the basics of quadratic equation. Please like, share and subscribe.